So guys, last week NIO delivered only 1,900 vehicles, only a marginal improvement over the 1,700 a week earlier. And if you take a look, the store is fairly empty. It's quite unfortunate, and it's the same over all the different stores. Here we got Tesla store, also very empty. We got the Expo store and BYD store over there, all quite empty. All right, so it's not just NIO that's quite empty, but of course Tesla did price cuts, but NIO also did price cuts. But apparently NIO's price cuts were only for inventory cars, so it's actually not exactly a price cut. And what's really interesting was, remember, Zeekr reported the rumor that NIO sold 1,700 vehicles in 2 hours. That seems to be all bogus and all fake. All right, take a good look at the Tesla store. Just super empty. Wow, super empty. NIO store, you got employees here, you got a sales rep there. You know, it's not, it's a bit slow. All right, it's a bit slow going into Chinese New Year. You know, I do expect sales to recover after Chinese New Year, starting March, once they start launching the 8295 version of the car. But for right now at this moment, do not expect very good deliveries. And this month, it's looking like we might only get about under 10,000 deliveries for this month, which is quite tough. Take a look at the showroom. It's Tuesday around 6 p.m. So 5:45 to be exact. So yeah, beautiful cars, guys. Beautiful cars. And the NIO Cafe workers are just getting off work. And people getting battery swap, including me. I'm waiting for a battery swap. Take a look here. We got the test drive vehicle ES6. I actually borrowed this ES6 last time to make a video. And then you got another ES6, ET7. Some more test drive vehicles over there. Lots of cars inside. Cool. Yeah. And Zeekr delivered 2,800 last week versus NIO's 1,900. So Zeekr delivered 900 more vehicles than NIO. And so far until January 21st, Zeekr delivered 7,500, which is also 900 more than NIO's 6,600. So Zeekr is actually delivering more cars than NIO. A lot of people are calling Zeekr the copycat of NIO. So this is very interesting. Why is that happening? Well, of course, the 007, much cheaper car, 200k RMB range, and that just shows how much of an impact a cheap car will do. So NIO's sub-brand will do wonders for NIO's delivery numbers. Now this brings us to an interesting question. Is Zeekr taking over? The Zeekr 007 is selling like crazy, all right? And that undoubtedly is taking a little bit of market share from NIO, especially the ET5, which was supposed to be NIO's saving grace and deliver a ton of vehicles. But why is this happening? Well, let's take a look at the pricing, all right? Now, let me preface this by saying I would still always choose NIO over Zeekr because of battery swap, but well, for the NIO ET5 75 kilowatt hour battery pack, the base price 298,000 RMB, and this is bare bone, no other options selected. Okay, but for 1,900 extra, 1,900 RMB extra, you can get the maxed out, fully spec'd 4-wheel drive Zeekr 007 with 2.84 seconds 0 to 100, whereas NIO's ET5 has 4 seconds 0 to 100. And this price, 299,900 RMB, includes everything maxed out, no additional options, and you can see they're all pretty much selected by default with this price. Everything is maxed out except for the this kind of handleless electronic door option. Now, if you don't want the maxed out version, you can get the very basic rear wheel drive base version that starts off at a very cheap price of 209,900 RMB. Now, the second real kicker is the fact that the battery upgrade price for NIO is significantly more expensive than Zeekr's. For Neo, it cost 58,000 RMB to upgrade to the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, whereas for Zeekr, it's only 30,000 RMB, but with discount, it's only 20,000 RMB currently. So, oh my god. The third and final kicker is the fact that the Zeekr 007 is being delivered with the Snapdragon 8295 chip, whereas Neo is still being delivered with the 8155 chip. So even though Zeekr is cheaper price, the chip is better, which makes no sense. Of course, Neo is coming out with the chip upgrade in March for all vehicles, but it shows how brutally competitive this whole entire EV market is. Just companies are coming out with cars that are cheaper than other cars with better specs, and just overall, I mean, like, this is pretty insane. And on paper, all right, on paper, spec wise, 007 seems to be quite ahead of Neo in terms of the numbers, all right, in terms of the numbers. And for some customers, some consumers that may not understand battery swap or might be on a tighter budget, it might be a hard sell to push them to buy the ET5 instead of something like a Zeekr 007 if they've decided to go pure EV. Okay, so this just really means that, you know, Zeekr 007 is indeed taking a lot of Neo's ET5 sales, but also this really shows us that what we need right now more than ever is the sub-brand to come out, a sub-brand car at around this price point, exactly what Zeekr 007's price point is around, from 200k all the way to 300k, and have just the best specs that you can squeeze in there and just kill the entire market. And you can see, you know, Zeekr 007 already just killing the entire market with this car. Imagine Neo coming in with their car that has all these similar specs but can also do battery swap. How crazy is that? Imagine a Zeekr 007 that can do battery swap. That is going to be Neo's car, and it's going to be even better in terms of everything that they're going to put in compared to this car, because Neo put a lot of time and effort into their sub-brand to make sure that this sub-brand is going after whichever car that sells the best, and they're going to flip the table and just go after it fist first. So yes, right now the ET5 is losing slightly to the Zeekr 007, but make no mistake, the sub-brand car will come out, and that car will flip the table and make everybody jealous, and that will be the best-selling Neo sub-brand car out there and just deliver thousands of vehicles.